Answers Unleashed, a TV show to point you to answers. Unleash the power of knowledge so you can unleash the power within you. Are you glossophobic? Glossophobia, or fear of public speaking, is a very common phobia and one that is believed to affect up to 75% of the population. Some individuals may feel a slight nervousness at the very thought of public speaking, while others experience full-on panic and fear. With practice and preparation, it's entirely possible to beat glossophobia and become a great speaker. So, you may ask, what does it take to become a great speaker? A world-renowned speaker even. How do you become a great speaker and share your expertise across the world? Well, today in our Answers Unleashed TV show episode, you will find out the tips from professional speakers on how to become a world-class speaker. Stay tuned as our Answers Unleashed episode continues. In each Answers Unleashed episode, I interview amazing experts and guests across the world who have breakthrough knowledge to share so you receive the power to launch your life into success. What are the hidden arts of public speaking? Each of today's guests will share their expertise and give tips on what it takes to become an expert communicator. Today's guests are Lance Miller, Tanya McKenzie, Rob Braun, and Norm Hall. Lance Miller. Lance Miller earned the World Champion of Public Speaking title in 2005. He shares his life experiences, useful tips, and simplifies what it means to become an effective communicator through his seminars, Finding Your Voice, and Mastering Your Speech. Lance Miller shares his unique real-world experiences, and he helps speakers become more effective with mechanics and a meaningful narrative. Tanya McKenzie. As a founder of Sand & Shores, Tanya McKenzie brings more than 20 years of experience in media relations, marketing, and client relations, while keeping a high level of communication with the public through press releases and authentic stories. Tanya McKenzie is an expert at delivering messages. Her business customizes services to grow the business of speakers, authors, entrepreneurs, and nonprofit organizations. Rob Braun. As the founder and president of The Leadership Source, Rob Braun brings years of experience as a speaker, coach, author, and leader who has led the development of over 60,000 participants in personal and professional growth seminars and programs across the United States. Rob Braun gives the power of overcoming adversity and turning poor performers into proud performers as his programs. Norm Hall. Norm Hall is the founder of Go Beyond the Norm, Motivation and Leadership Solutions. Norm Hall is a teen culture expert who works with young people who want to create a school environment for excellence and adults who want people to take initiative and succeed. As a certified speaking professional, CSP, of the National Speakers Association, he is one of the few 1,500 professional speakers in the world to have earned the Certified Speaking Professional designation from the National Speakers Association. 10 tips to overcome public speaking fear and become a great speaker. Number 1, know your audience and practice. The first step to public speaking is that you must know your audience. Who are you speaking to, and what do you plan to share? Different audiences will receive different messages. For example, if you gave a presentation about the effects of climate change and you spoke to adults, you would want to use science and facts. But if you spoke to kids, pictures and stories would convey the information more effectively. Our experts share about this concept of knowing your audience. Once you know your audience, find places to practice speaking with this audience in your mind.
That it is important for individuals to understand that people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And if you're not communicating your message to the public properly, they're not going to get to know you or trust you.
Here's the thing, you've got to figure out what problem do you solve. You have to figure out who has that problem. You have to figure out who's willing to pay you for that problem. And you have to figure out, how do I reach them?
Number 2, discover the 10 top types of speakers. You know that there are different types of speakers? There are TV hosts who share, educate, and give knowledge through TV programming. There are TV guest experts who are experts in their fields and who share thought-provoking information for people to make decisions. There are reporters. These individuals appear on the news to share information that requires immediate facts for safety and decision-making. And then there are TED speakers who share groundbreaking ideas and spark innovation with new methods across the globe. Spokespeople are individuals who highlight products or services that help people. And there are social media influencers. These are people who use YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media sites who entertain and make knowledge accessible to everyone. Then there are radio hosts. These individuals use the power of their voice to ignite excitement on topics and issues. And there are the most influential type of speakers that you can imagine. Teachers. These are individuals who are dedicating themselves to small groups of people for educational transformation.
I encourage people to develop their speaking skills, get honest and get clear about what it is they're doing and know why they're doing it. And if they're still doing it because there's still something they're trying to get for themselves, it's all right that we got a little bit of that. The focus has really got to be on the others.
You can't do everything. You have to really figure out where your niche is and be specific in that and delivering that and make sure that you're doing it from the right platform. So part of public relations is absolutely figuring out which platform is right for which message for which person, because everything doesn't work for everybody.
Number 3, share a message that you are passionate about. Now, I'm a scientist and a person of faith, so I love creating messages based on the power of the mind and using both science, theory, and spiritual faith. What are you passionate about? In order to become an effective speaker, you must tap into your passions and share the message that you feel passionate about.
Well, you have to find your passion. Part of being able to communicate your message is being authentic in that message. It's not making up what you think people should say or want to hear. They want to know who you are and what is important to you.
It's not standing up and being full of fire and brimstone, conviction, passion, power. There are a few people that will think, oh, that was great. But the people where you really change their life, it's authenticity, humility, sincerity is what connects with individuals. And I think that's true universally.
Number 4, within 7 seconds, grab the attention of your audience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's all the time you have to capture someone's attention at the start of your talk. If you don't do this, listeners will, tune out. How do you maintain a person's focus when you're speaking? Well, here are some tricks of the trade. Tell a story. Ask a question. Ask a series of questions. Use a quote. Start with the opposite of what you want to prove. Start with a broad topic and then narrow it down to your specific point. Or use any combination of these methods. There's no right or wrong. Use what works for you.
You know, I always learn, what can I do to help my audience be more receptive to what I'm about to share? Because sometimes they've had a bad day outside my room and I can't control that. All I can do is help make sure that the room they're in is a place where they feel comfortable to put down any resistance they may have and listen. And then if they use it, then great. If not, then at least I gave them the best I had.
There was getting stuff done, but getting people to want to follow and want to do it and come alive in that. And people were responding to me. And there's something about you, Rob. There's something real about you. There's something that when you bring it, everything just stops.
Number 5, have a structure to your talk. You can have a great start to your talk, but in order to keep your audience focused on what you are saying, you need to have a definite structure to your talk. You will have 3 main points. For example, if you want to say, this is the best car I've ever driven, that's great if you say that, but you have to have 3 points. Why is it a great car? Well, it's a great car to drive because it gives me great gas mileage. It allows me to be able to stay fast on the road, and it looks great. See, this is the type of aspect that you want to think of. You want to have a structure to your speech.
Who are you? And why should I care?
Oh, who are you and why should I care?
Why should I care?
That would make a lot of sense.
At the end of the day, that is the point that you are trying to convey. Why are you important? Why is it that your idea is more important than the last person?
When you come on stage, you have to remember the destination you're trying to go with your speech. Where do you want to wind up with the speech? And if you don't have a final point you're trying to go to, then you're sunk.
Number 6, share your real personal stories with your audience. Have you ever sat in a talk and thought it was super boring? Chances are the speaker has not shared their personal experiences in any talk. It is powerful for you to share your experiences in a way that connects you with the audience.
What the audience is looking is this person genuinely connected to whatever that loss is? And they'll know. We've talked about it a little bit. I lost my 19-year-old son in a shooting. And literally that day, I made 2 decisions. One, I wouldn't be angry at God, because that'd be a lifetime worth, so there's no point in doing that. And the other was I was going to stop playing it small. Stop being afraid. Stop using excuses and stories for all the limits in life, and turn that around. Talk about reframing a story.
With Sand & Shore's PR firm, we tell true stories that have a powerful effect on real lives. That is our motto, because it is important, so we help you tell that story to be able to set yourself apart and stand out.
Number 7, you can transform your nervousness into audience excitement. What happens when you're nervous? Don't fear. You can always convert your nervous energy into the energy that will excite your viewers. To do this, think of how the audience members will be positively transformed in the future by what you are currently saying. When you immediately keep this in your mind, guess what? The audience gets excited.
Whenever I find myself on stage getting nervous, what I need to remember is it's not about me. It's all about the people in my audience and how can I help their life be better. I can't solve all their problems, but what I can do is give them some tools that might make things a little bit easier. I can influence them in that moment, and knowing that I have that opportunity, that privilege, it helps me get through any challenge I have.
The main thing I focus on is you have to connect the speech to yourself before you can connect it to the audience. And so many people will write speeches that aren't them. They think this is what I'm supposed to say. This is what needs to be said. I sound better this way. And they turn into somebody other than themselves when they get on stage. And the whole power of speaking to me is being yourself and just talking to the audience.
Don't memorize your speech. Instead, talk from the heart. Robots may give you directions. GPS is great for giving you directions, but your heart tells you where to go. Successful speakers use their intuition and their hearts to provide added purpose to their messages. When you speak from the heart, you always speak in a way that will allow audience members to respect your message and believe what you're saying.
You wind up with this. It's not about you. But when you start, the whole thing is you try to get up on stage and say what you intended, and we lose our speeches, we lose our thoughts, or we get wrapped up in notes and we're reading the notes, we're not talking to the audience. You can't see the audience, and you're just trying to endure the 5, 6, 7 minutes that we're being asked to speak.
Because a lot of speakers in the beginning want to find out what's the message I should say that someone's going to pay me for. And I will just tell you that message will shift over the years. So it's more importantly to know what you're about. Figure out what it is you believe in that's worth sharing with other people. And if they take it, great, but regardless, you know it's important and it's true for you.
Number 9, your speaking can become a business. If you think professional speakers are just for the talented few, think again. You can make income from sharing your expertise. Authors, trainers, entertainers, and public personalities use their communication abilities to bring in income.
To obviously go out and be a paid professional speaker, and that's one stream of income, but also to create annual events, because what happened back in 2008, which should be a lesson for anyone who wants to be in this business, is that the economy can change. And so I decided to create my own events so that I would have an additional stream of income. And from there, I built it into not just a camp, summer camp, but also specialized conferences and provide the solution. So now it positions me as the expert, which means they'll pay you more.
My job is to find a way for you to connect with an audience that can appreciate your words and your message to help build your business. I'm always looking to work with people that are really trying to solve a problem.
Lastly, you got to remember this. only you can share your unique message. If you had 7 days to live and you could talk to anyone at any time, excluding your family, who would you talk to and what would you say? The answer to that question is your audience and your message. You see, we each have this mission for our own lives that's going to launch our own life to our own star. And for me, I had a vision like that. I was 6 years old and I went to the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Pasadena, California. In this room that we went to, it was dark and it had all these computers, and I remember just looking around in this room, being like amazed. Wow. And for a moment, I told myself, I'm gonna be just like those men. I'm gonna launch rockets like they did. Then that was the end of the field trip. I remember going home, but my life was not rocket science in any way, shape, or form. I went back to our home in South Central Los Angeles in the middle of poverty. So you have a decision to make in front of you. Are you going to be scared? Or are you going to fulfill the promise that you made to yourself and you made to this world? What stops you from moving forward in your next 5-year plan? Remember whatever it is that you saw for yourself in 5 years? That, my friend, is your fear. Whatever you think is going to stop you, that is your job to overcome. A part of being alive is to recognize the fear that we have, and we become alive and free when we choose to move past it.
Hey, you're either a picker, which is someone proactive, or you're the pickee, which is somebody's going to pick you to join the group or to be their partner, and you're at the mercy of them.
We are in the era of entrepreneurs, so you have to be able to set yourself apart.
Be clearly tied to the purpose and reason for it.
You can't communicate without leading, and you can't lead without communicating. They go hand in glove.
Well, there you have it. The 10 tips that will help you overcome your fear of public speaking and share your point with confidence. As you remember this information, you will overcome your glossophobia. If you keep this information in your mind, you will reprogram your mind to become a great speaker and share your important messages that you and only you are designed to share. I am Olympia LePoint. Tune into Answers Unleashed TV show for more information at answersunleashed.com. I'll see you next time.